So one of their special exhibits features one of the world's only fully intact German Navy U-boats. It was definitely not easy being aboard these U-boats. It was extremely hot inside. The temps could be between 90 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 to 37 degrees Celsius. The only people allowed to wash their hands were two people.
Okay, hold on. And there's a torpedo in the middle surrounded by beds, which are, 4 inches thick, maybe?
Yeah. So a fleet of Navy ships and anti-submarine ships called a hunter-killer group is what they call these.
Ooh,
I'd watch that.
reminds me of like
I
a killer
know.
whale pod or something.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting I'm not rooting for this boat.
Yeah, I
like,
know. Go.
So what they did was they surfaced to allow people to escape, and they started to flood it to try to sink it to the bottom. This would just be the first part of their mission, because the second part would be now getting this boat somewhere and keeping this secret safe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coast Files, your podcast for ocean mysteries and true crime. I'm Chantel.
I'm Lindsay.
Hi, Megan.
Hello.
And we're in January.
Well, I mean,
Well,
sort of.
Almost in real life.
this
yeah,
podcast
almost in real
transcends
life.
time and space. But
Can I just say that I was looking at the calendar the other day, though, and I'm like, what do you mean we're in the last week of the new year? I mean, of the old year.
It's
the
crazy.
last week of the current year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first week of the new year, all at the same time. It's all in the same week. It's crazy.
Is that all
right now.
this? It has to be this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all
I always
this
have a lot of
Yeah.
emotions the week between Christmas and New Year's, because I'm
Depression?
like a little depression, like a little well, I would relax if my child allowed it, but
No.
it's just that
Your one child allows
anticipation.
it.
It's like one does, yes.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't seen on our Instagram, I'm posting updates of my 8-year-old son building the Lego Titanic. So
He is
and
in
he's
it.
asked everyone to like and subscribe. He thinks he's on YouTube now. I'm like, we don't actually have a YouTube channel for
We
this.
could do a reel.
But we
Yeah,
could do a
we
fancy
can.
reel, and we'll do a highlight, and I'll let you
Yeah.
know
The highlights are already there.
Mhm.
And
my
but
God.
if you, I think I'm not sure, but if you want to send the videos
Yeah.
or upload them, I will make a reel.
Oh my
Yes.
God. It's crazy
It'll be
how
like a,
far
like a,
he is.
time lapse. Yeah, I know.
If
He's
you
like
leave him
already
cute
done.
comments, I will show it to him. So
Yes.
you're like, great job.
I feel like 99.9% of people that see it are nice people. So they
Oh,
will
yeah.
all be cute comments. And if you don't
Mhm.
Yeah.
ever comment, maybe comment now. It'd be like, great job,
Yeah,
Grayson.
for a
Yeah.
child who's
Yeah.
building
Do it for the
Titanic.
kids.
Yeah, he's really proud of himself, and he's actually,
He should
as the time
be.
of recording, he finished a third of it within 2 days. So
Yeah, that's nuts.
he's on track to finish it by the end of the week.
Definitely soon.
A project I thought would be 2 months, maybe.
No.
Yeah,
There's a
we're like,
puzzle-
it'll take him forever. It's
There's a
like-
puzzle that I'm working on, and Grayson is faster at building this 800,000 piece Titanic than I am at this
Yeah.
stupid puzzle. So
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
so
Have you met her son? He's
yes.
the little genius. Like,
But also,
Yeah.
but you forget because then he's a child, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
yeah, he
How?
did let me help him attach one of the funnels because it was a little finicky.
That's what moms are for.
And then he
That's
let me
fair.
help sort some of the pieces for him. So
I would love to help him sort
Yes.
pieces.
he's including me a little bit. So, and he's
Aw.
also said at any time I can just watch him build.
Oh, wow.
So
That's so nice
generous.
of him.
It's very sweet. Yeah.
Mom, you
So-
can watch me whenever you want. Okay.
Just,
Yeah,
but
It's-
don't
I know.
don't speak though.
Yeah.
Just-
Don't touch unless I've
Don't
told
touch.
you to. And he has to do all the good pieces. Like he's like, if there's like, 2 sides being done, he's like, sometimes he's let me help with the side, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
yeah.
99% just him doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
so cool.
You know what? Sometimes kids' fingers just don't quite have the dexterity. Like I find that even with my nephew, who's
Mm-hmm.
also kind of like your son was, where very young is starting these high level
Yeah.
Legos, and you're like, how are you doing this? Didn't you just learn to talk? And then
Right.
but there are sometimes these little tiny things where it's like they just can't quite, like, when they have like a hinge, like he just
Yeah.
can't quite figure out hinges yet.
Yeah,
mean,
but the whole funnel thing, I
those are the
actually
tough
realized
part.
it was just one piece he was actually missing because I was like,
Oh,
what's going on here? Like one thing
got
off
you.
at a line and then it wasn't going to go in.
Yeah,
So
that's happens
anyway,
with Lego. You mess up one piece, you miss one
yeah.
piece somewhere along the way, you got to take the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
But
So
when you're
sometimes I'm
building
the problem
furniture, it's
solver.
fine.
Yeah.
You have an extra bolt, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for Lego,
Just like when they built the real Titanic. One or two
Exactly. Like,
bolts,
oh, we
whatever.
forgot this bolt. This is going to all fall apart. Maybe. So that's been a fun so far. And like I said, as recording, we're on the holiday break. So I also took my son to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago a few days
Awesome.
ago.
I want to go on
And
our next girls trip.
yes, I'll
Mhm.
definitely take you. It's a little further away. That's probably why we didn't go before. But it
Well,
actually wasn't too bad to get there. It was like
no,
45
we can
minutes.
just like split an Uber, make it into a whole day, grab lunch
Yes.
somewhere, learn.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love to learn.
And they have
Me
a
too.
Stan's Donuts there now too, which is
They're
nice.
sold. I
Sold.
wasn't
So,
sold before.
donuts and coffee, they got you covered. So
Can
one
we
of their
bring them into the
special,
museum? Or is there no food allowed?
I don't know because I was tired and I chugged my iced coffee.
Okay, so
I didn't
Chantel will
try to
wear
walk
a
around
trench
with
coat.
it.
And
Yeah.
we'll figure out the rest when we get there.
You probably, I don't know. You probably could get away with it for some parts of the museum, but I don't know.
Just like a little stealth, like under.
Well, I mean, at the ROM,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have food around. So
Right. There's a lot of like, I don't
Lame.
know. If it was like priceless art, like the Art Institute, you wouldn't be able to.
yeah.
But-
Kind of get it, but also I'm
Yeah.
not like. I mean,
Yeah.
God forbid, like if someone klutzy like me comes in and falls with my coffee in my hand. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
was it? I think it was some kind of crazy art museum where someone sat on a chair
yeah,
that was
it
like
was the
this
chair.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then there was one where
yeah.
a security guard drew on a painting. So you know what? Maybe they're right to not let us have too much
Yeah.
freedom.
People need to
It's-
be
it's funny because
contained
you-
in the art galleries.
You know, when people are like doing these things and they're like, I'm going to come in and I'm going to like throw paint all over this priceless painting. And they're like, you do realize that there is like protective coverings on these things. You're actually not getting anywhere near it. Like
Yeah.
you're not really ruining anything. You're just making a fool of yourself. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ruining
Or
your own
they're getting the
life.
conversation started, and then we forget because then we're like, "Why would you do that?" And then
Yeah,
your
you're an
message
idiot.
gets lost.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then it's
Yeah.
about you and not your message. Anyway,
anyway, back to Lindsay.
Back to the story. Okay, so one of their special exhibits features one of the world's only fully intact German Navy U-boats, which
Oh,
is
wow.
a submarine. And this one is only one of two type IXC class, so it's just like a larger one. There's I think one more that might go on display next year in England, but this one is it pretty much
Rare.
if you want. Yeah, it's very rare. So U-boats were used extensively during World War I and World War II, with this specific IXC one being used in World War II. And they really gave Germany the edge in many ways because they kind of mastered the underwater attacks, and they were quite successful using these, unfortunately. So they're nicknamed the U-boat, and it stands for Unterseeboot.
I
Which is
actually
the
never
German
knew why it was
word.
called U-boat. I knew it stood for something, but thank you.
Yeah, Unterseeboot. And it's just the German word for undersea boat.
Sounds funny for such a murder machine, but
I
okay.
know. I'm probably saying it joyfully, but
You
I'm-
are a little like Chantel.
I
What was
don't
the
know.
word you said last time?
Oof.
You said oof
Oh,
like
oof.
that.
yeah. I mean, I guess German
Oof.
does sound angry most of the
Yeah.
time. So.
Okay, so try it one more time, but sound like angry.
Unterseeboot.
Damn, okay.
I
That's
can't.
pretty good.
I can't.
No.
Undersea
listen,
boat.
okay. That was pretty good.
There you go.
Well, if anyone who is German would like to say it angrily,
Yeah, we're
I'll
probably
feature
still
it.
all saying it wrong,
Yeah.
no matter what. Like,
yes,
Someone's
please.
just like, oh, God.
Yeah. If you're going to correct me, send an audio clip of you saying it angrily. That's my only
Yes.
request. So
Yep.
there's homework involved. Okay. So, like I said, my story today is going to cover the one at the MSI in Chicago. So you can go to my first photo. This is a photo of U-505.
And you were boots on the ground. You were
was-
under boot on the ground.
Exactly. All my American coworkers say I say a boot all the time. I'm like,
False.
I don't know. You guys are just trolling me,
Yeah.
and it's annoying.
Also, you really shouldn't
So-
ask us as other Canadians, but I'm positive you don't say that.
listen,
We
was also told a
100%
lot.
don't. Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
like,
I was told a lot that we said, I'm like, I don't hear it.
Yeah,
because
and
it's
you guys
not
are
real.
nuts. Yeah, I don't
Maybe if
get
you're
it.
from like northern Manitoba or Saskatchewan, maybe.
Yeah.
Even if you're from Newfoundland, it's a whole different.
Yeah,
Right.
that's you don't even say about like
No, you really just speak Gaelic
Yeah.
one level removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't say a boot. No one does.
Mm-mm.
No, they're just trolling me.
Anyway,
I'm convinced.
I'm now furious.
Yeah.
So
So this is a photo that I took. I
You're
was
an
trying to get better
artiste.
This
photos, but
is great. What do you mean?
apparently my son wanted to move on, and I had to snap this quickly. So,
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, there's like you can actually go up top and look down on it too. I was trying to go. I'm like, can we go back and get that? No, okay, all right.
Okay, well, it's okay.
Oh.
We will do a
I should have
follow-up.
taken it when we were up top.
It's
but
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
My mistake. You're a child.
my
Right.
mistake. Yeah.
Your attention span is done.
This
We
this photo
also-
was bizarre.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the torpedo coming out from like where it would come out of the ship,
Mhm. Where?
and see that
Oh, in the
white
second
that-
photo.
Oh no! Oh, is it not the first photo?
So the first photo is one that you sent us with like you can see the double hull.
Okay. Well,
That's okay.
the first photo should be the ship.
Okay, it looks awesome.
Okay, I
Now
can
Okay,
see it
it's
now.
the second
Yeah.
photo. Okay.
Okay.
I actually just included you can look at it for the episode right now too, the double hull, because Chantal had mentioned this in our Kursk submarine episode, that double hull, and I was like, oh, that's exactly it. So I just
It
took
is
a
nice to
picture.
see it in like a real
And it is
Yeah.
exactly what it says. It is two hulls.
two hulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a little protected metal coating.
I always just
Okay,
love seeing
now-
a cross section because when would you ever see this in real life? So
Yeah.
it's just cool. Like
Yeah. And it looked like there's like bars, like basically like almost like if you had toothpicks protecting. I mean, your
yeah,
cake
like that
with
is kind of
saran
what it
wrap.
looks like.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
That's such a cute analogy. You know, when you make a cake and you have your toothpicks and
You
the
don't want the
gentle
icing to
saran wrap.
touch.
Same
Yeah.
thing as a double-barreled sub. Yeah,
Exactly.
double hull sub.
That's where the inspiration came from. So yeah, on my what was supposed to be my first photo is the sub
Mhm.
itself.
Now I
you can
understand
see
where it's the
it's-
torpedo. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know why I didn't even put in the length of it because I visualized it, but it's 252 feet long, 76
wow.
meters,
Okay.
and I don't know how many shacks off the top of my head, but we
A
can
lot.
always include it later. So, I'll go a little background and then we'll get into the story of U-505. So in the early
Mhm.
stages of World War I, like I said, Nazis loved their U-boats. They only had 38 in the beginning, and their purpose was basically to just attack Allied ships and disrupt transportation, like different merchant ships, taking them out, and really mess with their economy during wartime so they couldn't get supplies and things like that.
Mm.
So it was actually because of the U-boat that the U.S. entered World War I, and I'm going to cover this later, but a German U-boat struck and sunk the RMS Lusitania, which was a passenger ship, which had a lot of American citizens aboard.
Mhm.
And USA was not into that, so it brought them into World War I. So just
Damn.
But
an
honestly, like
interesting
I know that
fact.
the Western countries did a lot, but
Mhm.
I'm it's very unfortunate that hahad to happen. But if the U.S. didn't enter, like I don't know what would have
Yeah.
happened. Like we could be speaking German right now.
Right. We'll give U.S. credit where credit's due.
Then, not now. Then.
Yes. And then also them helping in World War II, also very helpful because,
Mhm.
I guess.
yeah, England was like, please help. Oh, anyway. So the U-boat was very impactful in helping Germany do pretty well during the war. They ended up making a total of 335 U-boats by the end of World War I and
Whoa.
226 more under construction. So they were like, let's make these
Whoa.
things.
Well, they were very effective. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, and they usually only have about 60 in use at any given time, and they held up to 35 soldiers. So these ones were like a little smaller than the one.
Yeah, that's not as many
we're
as I would
talking about
think for
today.
a big boat. I mean, like it looks so much larger, and you can see
Yeah,
the
but it's
people like in
cramped.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's
I never thought that subs were spacious to begin with, but still, that just sounds like very, very few people for such a big
yes.
boat.
The one we're going to talk about today is actually much bigger. It
Okay.
held double the amount. So,
Mm.
but the original ones were smaller. So the ability of the U-boat to submerge and surprise attack allies, very deadly. They could use torpedoes, although in the beginning they mostly used their artillery from the surface. So they would probably like surprise
Okay.
them and like and shoot at them and try to seize their cargo. So they weren't necessarily trying to always sink them, but they wanted to like mess with hurt their transportation and
Hot
and
take,
cargo
but war
lines.
sucks. Like,
Yeah.
It really
What?
does.
Never heard that before.
I know.
Another reason why they'd be so deadly is they could lay mines. So you remember back to my
Finding
Titanic
Nemo.
sister
Yeah.
ship,
Finding Nemo.
that too. The HMS Britannic, it was sunk by a German U-boat mine in 1916.
Is that the one that had Violet Jessup?
Yeah,
God damn, that story was insane.
I know. I think about
Okay.
that every once in a while. Like
So
with
yeah,
the
if you
propellers out
haven't
of the
if you
water.
haven't listened, maybe I will do it, Chantel. I'll make a note in our episode like to go back, but that episode is freaking insane.
Yeah. So in total, about 5,000 merchant ships were sunk by these U-boats in World War I, and about 15,000
Wow.
Allied soldiers were killed because of these subs. So
Sorry, how many?
15,000
15,000.
Allied soldiers.
Jesus.
Wow.
So at the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles dictated that Germany had to surrender their U-boats and promised not to use them in the future. But a few years before World War II, they started making them again, forcing a change in the treaty, which to me, red flag. This probably wasn't going to go well. So after World War II began, there was a huge battle called the Battle of the Atlantic, basically both sides trying to gain control of those transportation routes. Obviously a very important body of water. And
One of our favorites.
again, yes, of course. I love the Atlantic. That's my heart of the ocean. The U-boats, again, proved to be very deadly to the Allies. And especially because the Germans started using enhanced features like the Enigma machine, which would code their messages. And I'm going to talk about that a little more.
Is there a
in
movie?
a few minutes.
A movie about that?
Yes, probably about like
Yes.
Alan Turing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
I've seen this movie.
Yeah. So over 2,700 ships would sink at the hand of the U-boats in World War II. And luckily, the Allies had some improvement with their convoys, they would travel their ships would travel in packs, which would kind of help evade the subs because they stronger in numbers. And they also developed different anti-sub warfare tactics, so they would be able to drop bombs and stuff on them and things like that. But even with that, they still lost hundreds of boats every year of the war, with 1942 being the worst year of loss, with about 1,300 ships sunk because of
Damn.
these U-boats.
Holy hell.
So that's a little backstory.
God.
So now we're going to talk about U-505, a little bit about life on board the sub. So it was definitely not easy being aboard these U-boats. It was extremely hot inside. The temps could be between like 90 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 to 37 degrees Celsius. So a little toasty, even for Chantal,
Humid
I'm
as
sure.
hell.
Listen, I would just not be wearing any clothes. That's all.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
But
this
your
is great.
coffee would always stay warm.
I know. I wouldn't have to worry about lukewarm coffee anymore. Room temp,
Yeah.
perfect temp. What are you talking about?
Pants.
Yeah, but if the room temp is like 35, that's a pretty hot room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
And
know.
that's a room temp coffee. It's pretty warm. It's great.
Yeah. And unfortunately, though, there was no luxuries like showers. So you could forget about that.
Okay,
That's
you know
what
what? Maybe
staying with you.
Are we talking about like bucket washcloth kind of deal?
No, water had to be very conserved. So the only people allowed to wash their hands were two people.
Okay, hold on.
The
Sorry, are they like the
captain
doctors? Oh,
and the cook,
Chefs? Okay.
who was
I
also
said,
the
I
medic.
said chef, cook.
So
Okay.
medic
Okay.
/ cook.
Okay. So
wore,
you
wore a lot of
literally-
hats, could wash hands.
You're literally not allowed to use water. Okay. Well, this
No.
went from like maybe kind of hot and not so nice to like
Yeah.
completely disgusting.
Which
No
is
Remember
kind of
the, like,
crazy considering you're
luxury-
surrounded by water, but you can't.
I know, ironic.
Very limited fresh water.
remember
because
the
it would-
lots Russian sub that I was talking about that had like
Yeah.
a
Yes.
they had like a room where they could go in and it was like, oh, here's lots of greenery and here's a pool and a steam room and like
Yeah, this
Different
here they're
not so
like-
much.
you can't use the water.
Yeah. They did have lots of food aboard, though, so they had to store it all over the place, including even the bathroom. Like, they had to pack it full of food, so
You can
can
tell that a
I'd be like, "I
man
don't know if I
designed
want the
this.
bathroom food,"
A
but
man designed this ship. A man planned out everything on this like U-boat. I swear to God.
Like we
yes.
knew about E. coli in 1945, right? Like I'm
That's
pretty sure
not
we did.
that long ago.
Yes. You can actually go to my next photo. That was kind of like what some of like the food storage would like the nice, like not the bathroom one, but
It's just
Like
a
this little
cabinet.
cupboard.
little cabinet. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it had,
god.
like,
I mean, this looks kind of cute. I feel like those mugs are very precarious up in that
Yeah.
cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you say yet how many people were on this boat?
So there were
sub?
59 aboard U-505.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of people to be sweating all over you.
Yeah.
And 57
so
are not washing hands.
another,
And
yes,
59 are not showering. So
Wait, could they flush a
And-
toilet?
They must have been able to like flush stuff down.
I imagine things are just dropping. Things aren't flushing.
Yeah.
They're just like, you know?
Yeah, probably sucking it out or something.
God damn. Like, oh my God.
And there was really only like one bathroom would be for the captain, the other bathroom was for the crew. So that's like everyone.
God, I'd
using
want to
one.
be the captain so bad.
So
I know.
58
So
people
badly.
who aren't showering or washing their hands are you also using one bathroom? Okay.
Yeah. And like actually learned this later on, but I guess their previous captain had been this young guy that like rose to like captain rank very young, and I guess his crew maybe like didn't like that, and he ended up like taking his own life, but he didn't quite die, so like they ended
Oh,
up trying to suffocate him to
no.
finish the job or something terrible. So this
Oh my
like,
god.
this boat had this reputation of kind of being like
It's haunted.
cursed and stuff.
On,
For sure.
on this boat that happened?
Yeah, I guess during a mission, like he at the pressures and stuff, over
Well, and I'm
just
sure he was getting
overwhelming, and he was
hazed, even
only
though he was in
24
charge.
or something. Yeah, imagine being like
Oh my
24 and like you're in charge
God.
of all these like older men.
And literally war is hell. And these men,
Yeah.
even though they're on like the quote unquote wrong side, like it's hard for everybody. And they're just
Right.
like, we're just gonna take it out on this 24-year-old captain.
Exactly, and I'm sure
Um,
of some of them were forced into this, right?
Yeah, I feel like for Germans, that's sure a huge portion were like forced to do this.
Right.
Oh my God, this is just getting like so much worse. Every sentence you say is getting like.
Yeah, sorry.
No, listen.
There are some good things later on. One more gross thing though before we do that
Perfect.
is there'd only be about 30 beds though. So if you do the math,
Okay, but
not
there's shift work,
everyone's
right?
getting. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But imagine someone sweaty has been sleeping in the bed,
Oh.
and now it's your turn. And pantsless Chantel here has been sweating it up in your bed, and now you have to go in there and have a little rest. So nice.
It's actually making my
and
stomach churn. Like we're not even into like the bad war stuff. It's just like the like living conditions that I'm already so disgusted. I just
I
got
know.
a shower and I want to get another
I can
one.
smell it.
right
Like I
now.
can smell
Yeah, I'm gonna have
it.
a shower
I know
right
what it
after
smells
this.
like.
Chantel, if I even try to go there scent wise, I'll have to leave. So
You know what?
You
Being
can-
a nurse, I've smelt a lot of things. Okay.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you would have been the medic, Chantel, one of the
I-
few people
yeah.
Allowed to
washing
wash their
Yes,
hands.
thank God. I can
Yeah.
cook too, guys. I can cook too. Okay.
There we go.
So can you wash your hands twice as much because you're doing both jobs?
I would. I'd be like, there's an excuse.
Yeah, I think so. You can actually go to my next photo. You can see where some of the soldiers would have slept
Okay.
right
Oh, wow.
beside something in the
Right-
middle there. Do you see that?
I
That
don't
is
know
a
how I feel about
torpedo.
this.
So
That is
there
a
are
torpedo.
there are beds suspended. It looks like you're literally in one of the Saw movies. And there's a torpedo in the middle surrounded by beds, which are
Mhm.
what, 4 inches thick, maybe.
Yeah, they look very like they looked small for me. Now,
Yeah.
I guess they did mention that a lot of the men were probably between like 5'6", 5'8", which so
Well, that was
well,
probably average
people
height
were
back
shorter
then.
back then. Yeah.
Right. So like I'm 5'6", but it still looked small to me.
I
Yeah,
just imagine like
that's-
my
your
arms
feet
would
are over the edge.
inevitably my
Yeah.
arms would go over the side unless you're
You'd
always a
wake up
side
like
sleeper.
cuddling that.
Yeah,
the
torpedo.
Chantel, you wouldn't be able to do your beautiful
no,
maiden
I can't sleep like
with
this.
your arms
Oh,
up in the
God.
air. No room, especially for you because you're too tall.
Wow,
So
like
Yeah.
I just this is just bad.
Is that a torpedo launching area right there too, behind it?
No.
And those
Oh.
circular.
it would be at the front. So
But those little tubes.
Yeah,
or
but I
maybe
mean,
those
that's
are
where they, like,
stored.
put it into.
I believe
it?
so.
That's what it
Let me
looks like, but
zoom
I don't know what
in.
else it would be.
Can you imagine on your sleeping shift? They're like, sorry, guys, we have to dismount all these torpedoes.
Sorry, something's
so-
happening.
Jesus
And let
Christ.
me like zoom in again on this one because
So that's what it looks like to me. However,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could just be where they're storing them. I don't know, but it
no,
looks
I think
like
that is where they
closed the
put them
hatch.
through. It just they had limited space, so they had to utilize every inch of space.
Jesus.
So,
Space saving
But,
methods, and
yeah.
there's literally there's hinges everywhere, which means
Oh
that
my God.
underneath everything there's stuff for storage. Like this is
Imagine
insane.
if somebody was a snorer. Like somebody
Well-
here definitely snored.
Well,
like a
someone would have killed
chainsaw.
me in my sleep. Like for night one, they'd be like, "Well, she's gonna have to go."
well, you didn't have to worry about snoring because they played music on here 24/7. Another
Are they
fun
being
fact.
Was this
tortured?
torture?
What the hell?
Probably. And so they had a record player, and it would just always play like fun music.
You know what? Last year I bought this really cool vintage Oktoberfest record, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's probably what was happening down here. I hate it because like it's fun when you listen to it for 20 minutes, but like
Yeah.
24/7. Why?
Well, they had German music, which was obviously allowed, but they also smuggled in some illegal French music too.
How
Not
dare
allowed.
they?
I know. Very.
I don't know how to
very
curse in
risque.
French, but
Sacre
Lindsay
bleu.
curse.
Sacre
I
bleu.
don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
I
but-
don't think they actually say that.
Tabernacle.
Merde.
That might only be
Merde. Yeah, that's definitely only
yeah,
like
that's
Canadian.
Quebec. Yeah.
Tabernacle is Canadian. Taking anything in the Lord in vain is swearing. It just says tabernacle. That's all that they're saying is tabernacle,
Yeah.
and that's taking something religious in vain. So it's swearing.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Nope.
If you go to my next photo, though, you can see where the petty officer slept. So a little bit nicer, but still. Like,
Okay,
same
they have
size.
a sheet. They
Yeah.
have a
There's-
shower curtain.
Well, they have a
there's-
little. Yeah.
There's
curtain.
still just
It's not next to a
pipes and
torpedo.
pipes everywhere near your head
No.
and chains. And,
And you know what? The bottom guy probably got to actually sleep in like a darkness. not
Yeah.
this-
Yeah, which would be preferable.
so
I think.
lucky.
Yeah,
Can't wash
so
those
lucky.
hands though.
No.
No. I guess
And you can go. And the captain did have his own like private bedroom with bathroom. So
of course.
probably still small, but
I
better
would
than this.
find an in with that captain for sure and be like, let me use your
Like,
bathroom,
hey.
please.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Hey, I don't sleep with
Anything.
pants on.
Mind if I
You would
join you?
Just hit on the captain.
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. My next photo, you can see that record player that I mentioned.
Oh.
I'm surprised that no one like bashed it in one night when they're like, I've had enough.
Well, I think they generally actually liked having some music because imagine it was just like silence.
Silence or just
Also,
the sound of the
people
ship.
breathing.
I was saying
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of like clangs and bangs and creaks, and so it's like this
For
is
sure
kind of
there
like the white
is.
noise.
Right.
It's even
yeah.
like being on a Navy boat, like being in the engine room. Like my grandfather worked as an engineer, so he was near the engine room a lot, and he always talked about how loud it was with that.
Did
like,
he wear
no wonder he
headphones?
went deaf.
Like,
no,
okay,
'cause,
Yeah.
he didn't go
know.
completely deaf, but like Granddad couldn't hear. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I hoped that they'd be like, wow, isn't so weird if you have prolonged exposure to loud music.
well, yeah, now they
Yeah.
have like they wear earplugs and everything, but
Yeah.
back then they didn't.
My grandfather was also an enginener in like the boiler rooms. and
So
on the
he
ship,
probably
so
also
he
had
probably-
hearing
I never
issues.
met him, but he probably did. I'll have to ask my mom if she remembers. So in June of 1944, there was intelligence received that there were U-boats off the coast of western coast of Africa. So a fleet of Navy ships and anti-submarine ships called a hunter-killer group. That's what they call these.
Ooh,
groups.
I'd watch that.
reminds me of
I
like a killer
know.
whale pod or something.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as Lisa said convoy, I'm like whales.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. They're stealing the whales terminologies. Works though. They went to go investigate, and in charge was Captain Daniel V. Gallery, who is a Chicago native. Fun fact.
That's kind of cool. What a full circle
Mhm.
moment.
I know. And then this is where it all ends up. It's all back in Chicago. I love
Weird.
it.
Mhm.
He had a goal of actually capturing a U-boat, and luckily for him, June 4th, 1944 would be his lucky day, which June 4th.
Good for
obviously, I
him.
loved June 4th. That's my
Well.
daughter's birthday.
I was gonna say you have at least one big reason to love June
Yeah.
4th.
Yeah, I'll tell my daughter, I'm like, something really cool happened on your birthday,
Aside from you.
aside from you.
Way before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the
just-
next best thing to happen on June 4th.
Yeah, exactly. So the captain of U-505, Harold Lange, knew this wouldn't be good once he spotted all these ships in the area. So he would view this through like their periscope in the sub.
So cool.
And he decided the best, or maybe it was Harold Lang. I think I said that wrong.
You're not a
Oh,
fluent German speaker?
ew.
I don't
That's
know.
embarrassing.
Sorry, Harold.
Embarrassing.
Um, he decided the best course of action was to dive the sub. So to do this quickly, the crew was ordered to the front of the sub to be like
To
make
help tip
it, yeah,
it?
to help tip
Oh,
it down
wow.
to make it
God,
dive faster.
my stomach's
Everybody
gonna
wake
fall out
up.
of my butt. This is so disturbing to me.
I know it's a lot.
Like the fact that human bodies have that much control over a sub underwater is like I can't even.
Yeah,
Okay,
but like
That's
seeing how
so.
big it was, I'm like, I don't know how it
it's,
it probably
yeah.
helps a
Well,
little,
I mean,
but
But that's
59
why it's so
people at like
scary.
probably 100 and something pounds each. Yeah, that's quite a bit of weight.
yeah,
It makes sense logically. It's just very upsetting to think that you have that much control over this massive ship. Like I imagine, like on the
yeah,
cruise ship, if everyone goes to one side, like does a tip, like okay, my
right.
stomach's getting upset. Just keep talking. Sorry,
They
I
still
can't.
would have to obviously do the controls,
Yeah,
bring it
like
down, but
manually.
you know
Yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely can't hurt. Put some
No,
weight down
can't
there.
hurt.
So unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, and the rest of the world, this plan was foiled.
I keep forgetting
So
I'm not rooting for this boat.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. Like, go. Wait,
like you guys can do it. Wait, no,
wait.
fail miserably, please.
These are the bad guys. So.
right.
So Captain Gallery was really trying to force the U-boat to surface because he didn't actually want the U-boat to sink. He wanted to capture it.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was to drop depth charges and hedgehog, um,
Sonic.
bombs, which is
Oh.
sonic. It's just a type of anti-sub weapon,
Okay.
and the depth charges. What they would do is they would basically be dropped down and kind of just explode at certain depths, so they could set it to
Oh.
whatever depth they wanted. And
Oh.
and really he just wanted to cause like an explosion near it to like rattle it
Scare it,
and
Yeah.
scare it. And the hedgehog actually hit part of like their steerings, their propeller or something, I think.
Oh,
So
okay.
Good aim.
it
Probably
was
an
not
accident,
able
but
to
still.
actually maneuver anymore.
Okay.
So basically, the captain, Lang, had to make a decision, and he decided, let's abandon ship and then try to scuttle, which is intentionally sink the sub because they didn't want them to
Yep.
capture it.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So what they did was they surfaced to allow people to escape, and all the crew had like life jackets, and they had little like dinghies and stuff that they could go on, and they started to flood it to try to sink it to the bottom. So, fortunately for the U.S. Navy, the scuttling efforts malfunctioned. So part of the water was cutting in, but it wasn't like flooding like it should have. So, basically, I forgot to mention too, I guess, that in order to successfully drop these, they had like some aircrafts flying overhead too that like shot at the water where they were. So that's
Oh my
how they were
God.
able to like successfully drop these anti-sub weapons in the right spots. So they had like air and sea attack
Wow.
going on. Mhm.
Like it makes sense, but it just sounds very like, oh God. Like I
Yes.
feel bad for these people too because I have to imagine like it's still a person. Oh, it just sucks.
Yeah.
War is confusing, weird, but it's
It is. So, as you can imagine, as they were exiting, open fire was taking place because,
yeah.
enemy.
Yeah.
But only one German soldier was actually fatally wounded in this.
Oh.
Wow.
They end up capturing everyone else. So, only one
Okay.
death. Not
I'm very shocked.
terrible
because, I mean,
considering like this
Yeah.
crazy
Just-
situation.
Just firing into the water and hoping for the
Yes.
best. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So the hard part was not over though, because next they had to board the sub and try to
And
make they
drive
stop the
it
scuttling
somewhere.
efforts
Oh my
and
God. So
and
they're
capture
on
it.
a submarine that is actively, slowly, but actively sinking.
Yes, and they had to try to
Mhm.
stop it. So Lieutenant Albert David was the first to enter the hatch of U-505, which is a very deadly task because these U-boats would be equipped with explosives for this very reason. They're supposed to detonate. And apparently, either the crew like couldn't remember, like it was supposed to be like someone's supposed to know the code, but no one did, so
Oh
it
my
wasn't
God.
able to
Okay, so
be
some idiot
detonated.
allowed this to happen.
Right? It's like I
Okay.
thought you know the code. I thought you
Okay,
know what.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Well,
it
and also
didn't.
I wonder if
Yeah.
they're thinking like, hey, this is gonna sink anyway. Let's just get out of here. And someone's
I
like,
have the
oh,
code written on my
Right.
hand, but I'm allowed
But
to wash them.
they had training, and actually, I heard like later on, Germany used this as what not to do situation.
listen,
So
fair,
yeah.
but
Everything is a learning opportunity.
I'm so glad that they fucked
Exactly.
up. But
Yeah. So, but good for Lieutenant Albert David. He was able to board without being obviously facing an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
But even after that, it was still very dangerous because they just didn't know if someone was going to try to like still on board, who'd try to kill him
that's what I was
immediately.
thinking. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
were like, imagine, okay, so this is German, but imagine that
Yeah.
this is on the Allied side.
Yeah.
If you are very likely going to die, then I mean, would you not want to be that person that like can take a few out with you before you go? Like, I would freaking totally hide and be like a James Bond, Jason Bourne
Right.
type.
Yeah.
With a
Because I
knife,
mean, really, you're
just
probably gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
Well, God, Chantel, yes, I would shiv the hell out of someone.
Yeah.
I could
I
tell
mean,
that's what you would do.
maybe some of them weren't even that passionate about their mission. I don't know.
I feel like sounds like no one
Yeah,
was. They're all like, yeah,
actually.
whatever.
Yeah,
he
like,
knew the
just
code. All right,
take.
somebody else
Oh
wrote it
no,
down.
we couldn't sink it.
Oh no,
Don't
I just
tell
want to
Hitler.
shower.
Finally, I get to go out into the water. Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my god, the
Nice.
outside, the air is so fresh and non-sweaty.
I hate all of you. I just thought you
Just
should
leave me in the
know.
water for a little bit. I just need to cleanse myself.
Oh, a little salt bath, yeah. So anyway, he ended up being awarded a Medal of Honor, which unfortunately was posthumously because he had a heart attack right
Mm.
before he received it about
Aw,
a
after all
year
that.
later. I
Aw.
know.
How old was he?
But
Sorry, did you say?
I don't know his age, but he would have been like probably young-ish, like
Yeah.
30s, 40s type
Oh
thing.
my
Damn,
God.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. So the U.S. troops were able to successfully close those hatches and prevent the ship from taking on any more water. So you can go to my next, actually go to the first photo. So that's Albert David, the man who like
Oh yeah,
won
he
the
doesn't
Medal
look
of
that old.
Honor.
And
No.
he kind of looks like Glenn Miller. You know, not really famous big band. You guys would know his songs, but like he just looks like he's from the
Yeah.
40s,
Yeah.
like 100%. And he just looks like a nice, normal. Maybe he worked in an office or was a postman or something. He just looks like
Yeah.
nice and normal.
Yeah, he
That's
looks
so
like he'd be
sad
your
that he
neighbor.
died. Yeah,
Right. Like your friend's dad or something. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Brave
Yeah.
man. I'm so sorry that he died before he got his medal, but
Yeah, his wife
Oh.
had to receive it for him. I mean, I think he knew he was getting it though before he died.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
Okay.
he didn't get to actually receive it. So,
that's
but yeah, I wouldn't want to have been like, who wants to go in first?
hell no. And he's
Not
like,
me.
I'm just going in. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. And they also would have feared that they'd have other explosives on board. Like the
Of
Germans set this
course.
up to make sure that if it were to be captured, they'd have plans in place because
That's the freaking goal.
what
Like
we're
you
going to
wanna
get to is
kill
there's a
as many
lot of
people as possible.
intelligence here.
I was gonna say they
do
don't want
not want
their-
it captured.
Yeah.
So if you go to my next photo, you can see one of the hatches. That's what they had to close. So one of the soldiers had to actually go on and make sure this was resealed so that they could stop the sinking attempt.
So this like
Okay.
little plug, basically,
Yeah.
or drain. So this was letting water come in. So someone had to physically like this looks.
Yeah.
It looks so small, but like I guess they knew where to look. They
And
knew
it was
where to find
about
it.
this, like, I don't know, like the size of
Like
someone's
like a
head.
side plate.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not huge to your
Mhm.
point, but yeah. Interestingly though, because they were going out to try to capture it, they were actually filming all this. So it's all
Oh.
on film. You can see it online. There was clips at the museum. And I actually go to my next photo. You can see, sorry, there's so many photos, Chantel. My next
I
photo
did this
is
myself
a
last week, too.
screenshot of the troops
Oh.
climbing on board
Oh, wow.
the sub.
So these are the Americans jumping on to like kind of take over. The sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always find like
But-
videos from this time period just so fascinating because I feel like there's
Yeah.
not a lot of modern day war unless it's really terrible on the news. Like just seeing people do their job is just, I don't know, it's
Mhm.
kind of cool.
There might be better footage too. I just literally screenshot.
Yeah, that's okay.
to include it in. Because I just thought I was like, how are they filming all? I get,
Mhm.
just kind of blew my mind
It
that
seems
they
so long
captured
ago,
it
but
all.
also not. Like they did, in fact, like I've seen so many
Yeah.
movies from this time period. Like cameras were a thing, but
Yeah.
you don't think
They
about
were.
someone taking this on
But during
like
all
a
this
Sunday.
chaos, like
Yeah.
of
That's how we
attack
found King
and
Kong.
gunfire. Yeah.
This also reminds me, like you've heard of so many people that were on the front lines, like back World War I and World War II, who were just
Mhm.
like journalists, and they were just there just to document. And I don't think that you
Yeah.
were necessarily allowed to attack these people, but I mean, I'm sure that happened.
They're not supposed
Yeah.
to, even in
No.
these
Yeah,
days
because
when you
yeah,
hear
Yeah.
about journalists
But it
dying. Yeah, they're not
happens.
supposed to.
we don't even have time to get into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's just it's so, I think, so invaluable just to like learn, because like you'll hear stuff and then it's like that's not true, and you have
Yeah.
evidence that proves this is what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it wasn't really important that they documented all this and
Mm-hmm.
did not share it with the Germans. Like, don't post it to your
Well, yeah.
Instagram.
Private stories, close friends only.
Yeah. Don't share it with Hitler. Okay.
Oh damn!
Damn it.
I said it directly to
I
Hitler.
Oh
I
no.
did the opposite.
Oh,
I mean,
damn
you
it.
said his name, so the name got stuck in my head, and that's all I was thinking about. God damn it!
Then I added him to close friends, and you know what?
He's coming
I
to my
know.
wedding. I don't know how to get out of this.
Ah.
He sent me this lovely painting for my wedding. I don't know.
Yeah, from his
my
personal collection.
Oh.
Okay.
You have to make jokes because it's just so
yeah.
sad.
It is. The next photo is actually a captain gallery on top of the ship after a
Damn.
successful capture. So let's
Nice.
put that American flag on.
Okay,
Yeah,
what-
right above
what
the
a photo.
Nazis.
So this is sorry, what is that top part called, Lindsay? The
I don't remember.
Okay, so if you just picture a sub, there's like that one little kind of cylindrical disc thing on top, and that's normally
Yeah.
where people are entering
It,
in.
like,
I can
looks
give
like
you a
viewing
photo
deck
of it
almost.
I took from actually inside the sub looking up. I
Oh,
didn't
very,
put it
very
in
cool.
because I was like, there are already so many photos and Chantel's
it's
going to
just-
murder me.
It's just that
It
one
happens.
top part, and there is an American, like I don't know, soldier or sergeant, who there is clearly a Nazi flag, and then he has then put the American flag above it, and it's such a like fuck you moment. It's
Mhm.
like I would have this framed in my house for sure if that were me or my dad.
Yeah. It was definitely like, and that's what his goal was. So now here
Yeah.
he is on top of the ship he wanted to capture.
Damn.
Conning Tower. I'm just looking up what it's called. But anyway, if we find out
The
that's
name.
the older
Chantal.
term for it.
Poor Chantal.
The bridge,
No,
maybe.
don't add it in. We'll just
Okay.
just look online.
Don't ask any more questions, Megan. Okay.
Was
Oh,
this?
well, no.
Just kidding.
I'm just curious on what it was called.
Yeah. But
Was
it's like
this
their lookout thing.
That's
where
an
they
old
would-
flag, right? They didn't have all the states then?
They must have. This is
Yeah.
in 42.
Are you
Yeah.
counting the stars right now, Chantal?
I'm just trying to. Something looks weird about it for some reason, but maybe it's just because it's
Maybe it's just
blowing in
the
the wind.
angle.
Well, the
Yeah.
stars are very chunky. Like
Yeah,
maybe it's just the flag style.
Yeah,
right.
maybe.
Should be 50.
Okay,
So,
I believe you.
after they secured the boat, they captured all the German soldiers, obviously minus that one
Less
person
one.
who passed during the gunfire. And of course, this would just be the first part of their mission, because the second part would be now getting this boat somewhere and keeping this secret safe. So a lot of valuable intelligence on German U-boats would be in this U-505, including an Enigma machine. So this was a very special coding device Germany used to code all their messages, so they'd be indecipherable to anyone else. So they would also change these codes frequently. So it would become very, very difficult to hack. So, for example, actually, you can go to my next photo to take a look. It looked almost like a typewriter, but a little fancier.
Whoa.
And what would happen
Oh.
is if you pressed a key, one of the letters, it would send an electrical current through the machine to a plug board. You can see up front, there's all these different switches,
Oh yeah.
and they'd have to like plug them in a certain like way to.
It
code
reminds
it
me of
and
like
then-
the old school like phone operators, like
Yes,
connecting
exactly.
you to Mr. Johnson, and they were plugging things all over the place.
Exactly. And then that would send a signal to 3 or 4 rotors. So you can kind of see at the top, there's like these little white things. They would have like just a rotary of all the possible letters. So 26 Surprise. um,
That's news to me.
I know. And these would constantly like rotate and change. So it would become very impossible almost to crack because there were more than 31 septillion possible combinations.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
So if you have a little time on your hands, um,
You know what? I can
but
do
yeah.
it.
Just give me a strong pot of coffee
Yeah.
and I'll up to it.
And this photo is actually from the museum had like a simulator. So I got to try it out and see how it worked because it was a little bit like, I'm like, my brain was trying to understand, like, how does this work?
Well, I mean, all of my
Mhm.
knowledge comes from the Da Vinci Code, obviously, and the
Yes.
little cryptics, and this is like 18,000 steps above that, though. But
So, as I mentioned earlier, Alan Turing, along with other brilliant mathematicians, have been working on and successfully cracked a lot of the Enigma codes by deciphering certain keywords that they knew were like being repeated, or if they did like a transmission about like they are like oh, they talk about the weather every time, like we can pick up different keywords that way. So that played a really important role in saving many ships from Nazi like capture or them sinking their like transportation ships and things like that.
that's insane. That is so cool. I've only seen the movie once, but it was really good. I'm like, just so
That's the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
yes, and
Yeah.
Kira
Keira Knightley.
Kira
yeah.
Knightley.
Mhm.
I do
No,
love
no,
her.
I
But
can't ever close her mouth.
Kira, what?
She always talks like this. She's always got this
Parlay.
joke going on.
Parlay. Sorry,
Parlay.
it's the wrong movie.
Yeah.
But
So they, while they'd made like a lot of progress there, like they still had a lot to learn, and actually having an Enigma machine would be really valuable to like continuing to crack those codes and intercept intelligence. So getting that boat to safety, like I said, would be very critical.
huge win for them.
If the news broke to the Nazis, then they would obviously change all their coding systems around because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want them to know. So they end up towing U-505 all the way to Bermuda undetected, which was kind of crazy because they're on like the western coast of Africa
Bermuda?
to
Damn.
Bermuda, 2,500 nautical miles. And it only took 15 days.
Holy shit!
Only.
I'm sure they were exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that
Were
is
they
like
allowed
a
to shower?
massive Use all
You
the
know
water
what?
you want, fellas.
Yeah. Just jump in, jump back out.
Oh yeah, sorry, not the fresh water. No, but you can go into the ocean.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah,
free.
yeah. Got it, got it, got it.
So, and U-505 had taken on a lot of water, obviously, when they were trying to sink it. So, dragging it, and well, with the damaged rudder, it was like pointing to starboard. So, it was very difficult to drag the sinking sub through the ocean.
Like on a who wants to go on an angle?
Yeah, Jesus.
So Captain Gallery, along with Commander Earl Trissino, had to take on the potentially deadly task of entering the sub's torpedo room where the manual controls were to try to straighten
AKA
out
the bedroom?
rudders. Yes, the bedroom. They had to go to the bedroom. But they just, again, didn't know what kind of like booby trap might be there, right?
Mhm.
Because that's something the Nazis would have done.
Newsflash, none. The guys all
Yeah.
forgot about it, but yeah.
No,
literally.
they're like, this is the safest U-boat ever.
Yeah. No one remembered any codes. You're fine.
I mean, this
No.
is all obviously to our benefit, but it's like Jesus Christ.
A lot of things went wrong for things to go right,
Yes,
essentially.
listen, if I had to listen to music 24/7, I would also forget whatever codes were in my brain that I was supposed to remember for an
Right.
emergency.
I was supposed to
okay?
remember those.
No. I'm
No,
just
all I can
saying,
remember is
50
the
days
lyrics to
ago.
that French song we're not supposed to be listening to, okay?
I know. I've been sweaty for 2 months now with all these men. I don't know what to do anymore. So they ended up Commander Trissino came up with the idea of, instead of, they didn't want to start the diesel engine because the Captain Gallery thought it might just end up sinking it faster.
Mm.
So they ended up pulling it through the water at a high speed. And it basically like restarted the engine that way. So they were able
it's
to
like
restart the
push
battery.
a car
like,
down a
push-
hill in neutral or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
So they were able to then use its system to pump out the extra seawater. So that got it back on track. So they're able to get it
Okay,
to
so they
Bermuda a
did
little
figure it
more
out, so
easily.
that's good.
They did. When they arrived, they had to break protocol, which violated the Geneva Convention because they were supposed to always let people know about survivors or prisoners of war. But they couldn't risk Germany finding out what they had done. If they found all their survivors were there, they might be
Yeah.
like, did they capture it?
Yeah.
So they were not did not permit the prisoners of war to write to any loved ones, and they actually kept them separate from other captives.
So they would talk and share info. Yeah.
Right. They did at one point try to send out balloons in the air or something. I don't know how they got access
99
to this.
red left.
Yes.
Balloons.
And it said U-505 lives. They were trying to like maybe this will get to someone.
Did they like spell it out in balloons or just like right on each balloon?
I think on each balloon. Good question.
They made multiple balloon
They're like,
options.
oh no, our message.
Oh no, it went upside down. Not N505.
No, you're supposed to. These combinations.
Oh
too
no,
many
it's heading
codes.
right for those power lines. God damn.
Not the
And
turtles.
they're on Bermuda, so I don't know where they thought this was gonna. How far it was
To
gonna
be fair,
travel,
they
but-
probably had no idea where they were. So they're like, Germany must be
True.
close.
Yeah.
We've been traveling for 15 days.
Yeah,
We're nearly
in the
there,
opposite
sure.
direction, but whatever. Yeah.
Listen, I have
positively,
clean underwear
though-
finally. I'm just happy.
And actually, they were treated quite well for POW. Like they weren't like tortured or anything. They were treated well, but they just weren't allowed to communicate. And they were eventually returned home in 1947. So their family
Okay.
did get them back eventually.
Listen, we just
That's
we
good.
we were not they were not going to go against the Geneva Convention just
Yeah.
soon, like we let
We just
people know
had to-
soon.
They
was like,
had their
okay,
reasons.
I'm just
and-
not going to tell mom that I broke the mirror
Yeah.
yet until I figure out if I can replace the
Replace
mirror.
it.
And if I
Yeah,
replace
it's
it,
like-
then I'll tell her. But until then, let me just figure this out, okay?
If
Yeah.
she knows I'm trying to end World War II, maybe she'll forgive me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'd rather have the solution when I tell her just to kind of lessen her being angry. So this
Yeah,
to me, this makes
exactly.
sense.
Exactly.
So even U-505 was given a code name, was Nemo.
Oh,
So there you go, Megan.
Full circle, for me.
So any communications about it wouldn't like give it away. So I'm sure
And
the Nazis are
inspired
listening
the
in.
2004
They're listening in.
film.
Finding Nemo.
There's no way to.
Oh my
but
god.
what?
Who
Maybe.
knows?
Finding
Wait,
Nemo.
I must make a quick
Okay,
note.
deep dive on that, Megan, right now. Thank you.
Deep dive.
After this episode.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna start right now.
Right now.
She's actually gone. It's
Pause.
just you and me, Chantal.
Yeah.
So, all in all, the significance of U-505 was pretty impactful. The U.S. Navy was able to retrieve and catalog 1,200 secret naval items, including grid maps, torpedo manuals, radars, radar detectors, code books, which gave them military instructions of because they had to change their codes all the time. So, it's like an authenticator. Like, here's the
How to do this.
authenticator,
Oh,
like
wow.
plugs and stuff. So, very valuable. And it also gave them access to 2 Enigma machines. So,
That's massive.
great. Yeah, it was huge to help. And it was estimated that they saved probably 13,000 hours of computing time by having this intelligence.
yeah.
hmm And there was given it to like Alan Turing and his crew to also help with those Enigma codes. So all in all, played a very important role in avoiding numerous German U-boats in the future, especially avoiding merchant ships being taken out. And it also ultimately helped play an important role in ending the Battle of the Atlantic, saving many, many lives. So
Awesome.
huge impact for U-505. In
Mhm.
September of 1954, it was declared a war memorial and became part of the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. So it traveled from Bermuda to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and then down the St. Lawrence, making its way to Chicago. It was something that was outside for a long time, though. So in 1997, they decided, you know what, we're going to actually restore this properly. So they started a massive restoration project, which involved both external and internal renovations. And it was eventually lowered by cranes into MSI.
I
Into the
need to see
museum in a
this in
special
person.
room.
This is insane.
Mhm.
Yes, I definitely. It's
things
so
this
cool.
big shouldn't exist inside a building. So when it does, I'm like, ugh, this is crazy.
Yeah. So they had to
Well,
lower.
we
it
built the
in.
building around it.
Right?
Yeah, they'll put the roof on. No big
Yeah.
deal. So it was completed in 2005, and it's been an exhibit there ever since.
Wow. It's a 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's pretty.
yeah.
It is. Good point, Megan. Very cool. So
Wow,
this is
it's
a very
only-
timely episode.
It's only because it's very easy to go to 2005 at 20. If it was 93, I'd be like,
Except for when this episode comes out, it's now 2026.
but barely.
yeah,
Yeah.
barely.
Kind of like how I was born in 87.
Yeah, but you're
Barely.
barely.
Yeah,
You're
barely.
almost
Yeah,
an 88. girl.
Barely. Lindsay and I are nearly touching
We're
birthdays.
4 weeks apart exactly.
So
And in the middle of that, a year happened.
Like
So
technically, right?
yeah,
So long story short, I'm young. Anyway, go ahead.
Got it.
very young. Much younger than this ship, and look how good it
Much,
looks. So
much.
And look how
younger.
great she looks.
she's aged so well. It just needs a little makeover.
That's
So.
it. That's like a multi-million-dollar makeover, whatever.
And of course, if you're in Chicago, you can go in person and tour this ship today. So you can go to the exhibit as part of your general entry, but if you pay extra, you can have the tour. Shout out to Jeremiah, my tour guide, who gave me a lot of this information for this episode.
Okay, Jeremiah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we have to go back because I actually missed a little part of my tour because my son had to use the bathroom, so we had to leave for a second. I was like,
God.
"Can't you hold it?" But
He just didn't understand.
got to be
what he
nice
was
to
doing.
children, and
Yeah. Especially when they're mine.
right. Yeah, exactly. And we already talked about the bathroom situation on the sub. I'm like, I probably gonna give him trauma if we do that. So.
No.
Can't you just use the one on the sub? Jeez.
And for the love of God,
there's
wash your
one.
hands.
Yeah. I also was watching this video about it this week, and they had an author on there. His name's Charles Lakeman, and he wrote a book codenamed Nemo. And I haven't read the book because I just discovered it existed like yesterday. But if you want to read more, you could give this book a try. I'm including a video in the link with that conversation with the author. So if you want to dive deeper on this, you totally can. And I'll link all my other resources too. But definitely, if you are in Chicago, take a tour. I think it's well worth it for the experience. So
Super cool way to spend a day
Yeah.
or like an afternoon even.
So did they bring it to Chicago because the guy who ultimately found it was from Chicago, or was there just that's like specific for what was already there, like the building that's already there?
think the Museum of Science and Industry just took on storing, like, we'll make a memorial for it.
Okay.
I
And it
don't
just happens
think
to
it
be
had
that he's from
anything.
Chicago.
I think it's just that.
Okay.
But I don't know 100%.
Got you.
We'll learn that when we go in person the next time.
Right. We'll have questions ready for the tour. So
Jeremiah.
Perfect.
yeah, we're coming for you.
This is so freaking cool. And also it reminds me that I promise I will have a book club set up. And it won't be like this month we read this, but it'll just be like a collection of books that we either personally are reading or books like Lindsay has for her case or Chantal has for her case, because there's been so many.
Because we haven't read all the books we've mentioned. Like, I haven't read this book. But
well, I mean, okay,
I've
but
at least
if you want to know more, here's a book you can read. You will know more than me after you read it.
Oh, and someone I saw commented on YouTube that they actually bought Adrift because they were so interested.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, like,
that's awesome.
I'll put it somewhere where it's consolidated.
That was one I actually read. So
yeah, well, I mean, you guys read most of them, or at least you read chapters that
majority of it. Yeah.
This makes me want to watch war movies, and also is it called The Imitation Game? What's the name of the actual
Imitation
movie?
Game?
Yeah. It makes me want to rewatch because it's just such, like, the war's so terrible, and then you hear these like these little things that just happen because, like, I think Chantel said all these things that had to happen wrong for this to go right, and that's so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was an incredible story. So.
The flag was different in 1945 than it is now. And that's why it was messing me up, because all the stars are in a straight line. No, I was like, this is not right. This is not the flag. So all the stars are in a straight. Now they're like one line, and then there's like a middle line, and then there's a long line, and then a middle line.
How did you even notice that? You're not even American.
Because I knew it was wrong.
All right, I'm gonna call, like, during my citizenship test, whenever that happens, I'm gonna be like, can I phone a friend? Actually, just give me a second.
Yeah, there's something with a flag. She knows it. I know it.
Yeah, if any flag questions come up, I'm like, I'm calling Chantal.
What was the flag in 1945?
You're probably really good at those, like, images where it's like, what's different?
Yeah,
yes,
I am. I'm great
love
at those.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, this is off topic, but every time you said the name of the submarine, I kept wanting to be like UB40, but that's not. That's an amazing Jamaican British band.
Oh, what's the sub movie was filmed in Halifax? There was one.
Oh God, that could be freaking anything.
What a movie?
Yeah, with like
Harrison Ford. That was with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford.
You had to have been
K-19.
Sorry.
The
K-19.
Widowmaker.
Yes, that's what it was.
That sounds familiar too.
Yeah, I remember when they were filming that in Halifax.
We should also start like a movie list.
Yeah, I knew someone that was an extra in that.
Okay. Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
Who was?
Movie list.
This person that was friends with my brother when we were kids was an extra in the K-19 movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It was also filmed
Okay.
in Toronto and Moscow.
Oh.
That's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto probably for soundstage, I imagine.
Yeah, probably not for the ocean stuff.
No,
'Cause,
that's why they were in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, they ain't got ocean here. They have a big lake, but
Yeah.
okay, well that was awesome and sad and scary, but hey, a win for the good guys.
Yeah, people's lives were saved
Mhm.
ultimately.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
And
now,
and
now that I
awesome
remember who I'm
captain-
rooting for.
Yeah, now that we have it straight.
yeah,
got real
not the
confused for a
group of stinky men.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, well that was it. Like
Yeah.
almost no one died. This is so weird for you.
Yeah, I
Once
know.
again,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
One
you.
fatality and then a heart attack that you just, that
I've
had
been pretty
nothing
good
to do
with the no deaths lately.
lately. Yes.
My next story
Mine
will
are
not
nuts.
be good. Mine will
Okay.
be really
Great.
bad.
Great.
Okay.
Love it. Okay.
All right,
really
well, I'll have
bad.
an actual drink for that one besides just
Yeah,
water.
I think I will too. Instead of water, Chantel's weird room temp soda
Great.
water.
It's grapefruit.
Yeah.
Pamplemousse.
That makes it slightly better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for that story. That was awesome. And now there's more books and movies to watch. So like, that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy New Year officially. We're in 2026. Which is like
We're actually in the
have been.
third
We're
week
like
of
third
2026.
weeks.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
to us it's not there yet. So it's
everyone,
weird, okay.
hopefully, are used to writing 26 now.
Yeah.
No.
Oh God, no.
Not
I just
not
got
for at
used to
least a month.
25.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna go well for me. Okay. Well,
All right. We'll see
I
you
love you
next
guys.
week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.